Hello guys, good morning. It's me and again your friend Isram, your partner, and in this occasion, in this opportunity, I would like to share with you and talking about of the one of the most interesting places in my opinion here in Mexico City, which is the National Museum of the Cultures. Here in Moneda Street in downtown Centro Histórico we have a large exposition, a large collection of the ancient cultures from Greece, the ancient Romans, for example, the ancient China, to meet the ancient Mesopotamia, to meet the ancient Persia. Well, all and more than that kind of collections are here in this place, which is owned of the same Archaeological Museum of History there in Chapultepec. But the mainly difference between there and here is that kind of collections is around of the ancient pre-Hispanic cultures. For example, the ancient Mayas, for example, the ancient Aztecs, but here is the large collections of around the world, of the ancient cities and cultures, for example, from China, from India, from Greece, from ancient Rome, and more. Please follow me in this little journey. Okay guys, I'm here into the interior of the ancient Museum of the Cultures. Here are some murals from the age of the Mexican Revolution. He was made by Rufino Tamayo, and it represents something about the frightened wars between the Mexican people and the ancient owners from the last epoch when persons like Porfirio Diaz ruled here in Mexico. And well, this is the place. This is a beautiful fountain. And in first place, it's necessary to explain about this building. It was constructed to be the first house of coin in Mexico and in Latin America too, because they made the coins here. And next, in the first years of the 20th century, the ancient rule here, who was Porfirio Diaz, he shared this place to be a museum of the ancient cultures. For example, he was the first place where it was exposed the ancient sunstone. We call it El Calendario Solar. But please follow me to know one of the ancient beautiful cultures, starting with Egypt. Okay guys, this is one of the most beautiful expositions and collections talking about the ancient Egypt. For example, if you walk right there, you can get to one of the ancient mastabas. It was a kind of tomb, a kind of grave from the ancient Egypt. And then, for example, this is the Triada of Mixerinos, one of the most important rulers of the ancient Egypt. For example, you can meet here the ancient bust of the queen Nefertiti and her husband, the ruler Akhenaton, And for example, he is one of the most important rulers of the ancient Egypt, who was the pharaoh Khephren. Talking about the Lebanon and the Middle East, well, this exposition could have something about them. For example, this is the large middle moon of the fertile in Middle Age, in Middle Earth. And for example, you can find these ancient cultures, for example, the Mesopotamia, the Mitanus, the Canaanites, and other ones. For example, a kind of ancient crystal. And for example, the origin of the culture from the language. For example, always and all started with the Proto-Cananeo. Next, the Ugariticus. First one was a kind of pictographic scripture, writing, then a calligraphic, then the Phoenicians, then the Arameans and the Hebreans and Nabateus and the actual Arabians. Then from the ancient Phoenicia could have and spread and break out the next language, and each was the ancient Greeks and the Cyrillic. Then the Ethiopic and the Phoenicians could be spread the Latin language, and from the Latin language another kind of Latin language like the you use and Spanish language, French, Italian, and language like that. Okay, guys, we're talking about Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia, the land between two rivers. For example, the ancient Babylonians, the Akkadians, and the ancient Sumerians, they were and they lived in that places. For example, the Ajuar of the ancient rulers from the Uruk cities, the Shuba queen, and her husband, the king Patasi. Here you can meet with a kind of mountain temple which we call a ziggurat. And in this kind of ziggurat, the rulers can stay in the high levels to meet with the ancient gods and to see and watch the stars. Well, this is a real interesting and important ruler from the ancient Sumerians. He was the Gudea Patesi de Lagash, or Patesi from Lagash, and he was the ruler, the ancient ruler Sargom from Akkad. Here, talking about another culture, for example, the ancient Chaldeans, the Babylonics, well, this is the large stela of Hammurabi. Around 295 rules from the ruler to his people. Staying here, you can meet with the ancient Roman and Greece, but please follow me. For example, you can meet with the ancient statue of the, we don't know if it's a Zeus sculpture or a Neptuno sculpture, but could be made from the 5th century before Christ. Well, and in this large hall we can find the real interesting sculptures from the ancient Greece. For example, this example is it was made by an very famous sculptor who was Policleto de Argos, and Policleto de Argos shaped this sculpture talking about the perfectly proportion of the human in his body. Then you can find here a little show from the development of the ancient sculpture from the ancient Egypt, the Arcanian and ancient Greece, the Greece in the classic era, the Greek sculpture in the epoch of the Alexander the Great, the Hellenism, and the Roman sculpture too. Well, guys, and that with this beautiful place, I would like to share the invitation to stay here and meet this beautiful place. Okay, that is all to my part, and I would like to, this little show was of your joy. Thank you for all. Goodbye.